Hello everyone. Here I'm going to start with the UI of Practical 7. In this UI, we are going to see about the recycler view. So first of all, you have to create one view activity related project in Android Studio. And you have here two files. You can see here main activity .xml file as well as main activity.kt file. So first create one empty project with view activity. Okay, and that is the empty activity. We are going to implement this in XML. You can choose Jetpack Compose as well, okay, if you wish. So here first of all we are going to create UI. Here I am changing from constraint layout to coordinate layout. So here you can see I'm changing here. You can see other information about the coordinate layout, okay, from our developer.android.com. So coordinate layout is responsible for specifically the toolbar and the other UI part, like constraint layout you can set inside the coordinate layout, and also you can set the floating action button. So I am here creating the toolbar part first, then I will create constraint layout. Okay, so here in coordinate layout you can see app bar layout as well as you can see material toolbar, and here these are the attributes of app bar layout as well as material toolbar, like layout width match parent, layout height web content for app bar layout, same as you can see in material toolbar as well. Okay, so this is the code that you can create for toolbar, and this is also useful specifically for the option menu button also. Now I'm going to create constraint layout, okay, after this, and we are going to also see the recycler view inside the constraint layout, okay, or you can directly create the recycler view as well. Okay, it is not needed every time we need to create constraint layout, because here we need to just create one layout. Okay, so that is the very important part. So here I have created one constraint layout, okay, and here margin bottom also I have given, okay, because of action bar. You can if action bar is unable, then it is very useful. Okay, then you can see here inside constraint layout recycler view I have created. So for constraint layout width and height is match parent, okay, and layout behaviors specifically for scrolling view you can see here, and here I'm giving the recycler ID as the recycler view 1, okay, and width and height as the match parent. So also we have discussed regarding the layout manager in previous lecture. I am setting here linear layout manager, okay. Also I'm going to set the specifically the floating action button, okay, to load the data from internet, from network, okay. So for that floating action button is useful, and it is the floating through our UI. So whenever you have lots of data in recycler view, at that time it will not create the problem. So here I have copied code of floating action button, you can see here, and here you can see layout width, layout height, as well as gravity, margin end, margin bottom, okay, because in coordinate layout we need to give the layout gravity. That is very useful, okay. So that you can see here, margin end and bottom also you can see. So this is our floating action button, and here you can see one code problem, like baseline sync 24 image is not there, so I need to copy that image. So I'm searching from internet, just download it and I will copy in drawable folder, okay. So this is very important part, because already we have seen that icon you have to set in your the mobile application. Okay, so you can see here one error. Okay, I'm going to solve this. Just so here now it is downloaded, and here I'm going to paste it. Okay, now you can see here one file sync_24px.xml file. Okay, I'm going to use that file here. You can see. Okay, so here now there is no error, and you can see the floating XM button. Okay, I'm going to zoom here. You can see here. Okay, so floating XM button you can see here. Okay, with the icon. Okay, so this is very useful specifically for downloading data from the internet. Okay, now next part is whenever you need to create a recycler view, at that time we need one single item view. So that is, we are going to create the new file in layout folder. Okay, so here I am going to create one new file in layout folder with the name person. This is actually this is our project regarding the person list. So person information we need to store, so that's why we need one XML file with person item view.xml. Okay, so this is single item that is storing all the data of person item. You can see here I have just copied paste one code. Okay, so here material card view I have also used constant layout. I have also used lots of things like image view, linear layout. I will show you here. Okay, so all this data, all the attributes you can see in this screen. You can create your own because screenshot is already available in Practical 7. Okay, so you can create your own code you can use. It is not necessary that whatever I have used you have to use every time. Okay, I have used here linear layout. Okay, some error is there regarding the icon. Okay, so that you can also use here from internet. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second thing, here I have copied the code with two button. Okay, one is the regarding location and second one is the regarding delete. But in our Practical 7, location is not available. Okay, so I'm going to delete that button. Okay, so you can see this is the delete button. So now you can see the error. I'm going to again undo that, and first I will solve the error regarding button map, that is the location button. Just we need only delete button. Okay, so I'm going to solve some constraint layout error. You can see start and end and bottom. I am going to solve this. So you can solve these all the problems your own. Already you are aware about the constraint layout. Okay, so you can see here some location error is also there. Okay, so I'm not going to import this location icon. Just I will delete this button. Okay, just I'm going to resolve all the errors. Okay, and you can see here this is the linear layout and some error is regarding button map. So all button map error I'm going to solve. Linear layout I have used. It is not necessary that you have to use linear layout. It is very simple. Just you have to set the orientation. If orientation is vertical, then it will arrange vertically. If orientation is horizontal, then it will arrange horizontally. Okay, you can see here round shape. I see round person in image view that we are going to add from the material design website. Okay, so that is the vector data we have to add here. I'm going to show you that thing also. First, we are going to focus on delete button. So I'm downloading that. So you can see now the delete button I have added, and here it will resolve the error. Okay, now let us focus on round shape. So I'm going to create one new file in drawable folder. Some extra dialog boxes is not visible in the screen, so don't worry. Just follow the steps that you know. Till now, whatever we have discussed, all these things, just you have to use here. So in drawable folder, I'm creating one file, roundshape.xml. Okay, and just you can see here one code of that. Okay, that is the by default code. I'm just going to copy paste my code with shape. Already we know about the shape with rectangle. You can add here other shape also. I'm going to add oval shape. Okay, with stroke, this color and width and solid color, it will fill the color, this one 7777. That is the dark gray color. Okay, so this is the shape of a circle, and that is useful to create one single person that image view. Okay, so that is useful. We are going to use in image view of person item underscore view.xml file. Okay, one more XML file we need to also add. Okay, that is the person. If person image is not available at that time, by default person image we need to store. So that is also we need to add in drawable folder. Okay, so the two files we need to solve. So you can see here round shape is already added and that error is resolved. Okay, now one more icon that I have to add, that is the round person. So I have one code available regarding the vector. Okay, just I will copy that code. You can download from internet. There is lots of SVG file also available. XML file is also available. Okay, just go to the material design website and you can download that. Okay, this is the vector tag. Okay, by using this tag you can add vector image. Okay, and you can see now this problem is resolved. Okay, just a minute. You can see the image. Okay, and person item view I'm showing you. You can see here. Okay, so this is the code, final code. Okay, without error. Okay, and style and constraint, width, height, all these things you can see. And this is the final output. But see, delete button is on the top. We need to keep it in center. So I'm going to solve this error. Okay, this is not the error. I desired that thing. Okay, one more thing that I have not mentioned here. Okay, because of lack of time. Here you need to keep height of constraint layout to wrap content. Okay. Here bottom to bottom constraint I'm giving parent, so it will adjust middle. Okay, and the height of this person item view.xml constraint layout, that is the match parent, please change to wrap content. Okay, so you can change constraint layout height. Here it is match parent. Okay, please change it wrap content. So this is the actually UI part. Okay, after completion of the UI, see I have shown you something. Okay, that is necessary. I have not written each and every line. It will take lots of time. Okay, so you can see this is the UI part. Okay, and if you want to see that single item view in recycler view, you can use tools item count, tools layout. Okay, so both these attribute can be useful specifically to display in Android Studio only. It will not reflect in particular mobile device. And you can see here 5 items, it is not visible. Okay, if I'm changing 10 also, it is not visible. Okay, you can see now. Okay, so you can see, because this is the problem of constraint layout height. Constraint layout height, you have to set wrap content, then it will resolve this problem. I'm giving this task to you. Okay, again I am setting this 5. Then also you can see there is no effect. So please change constraint layout height to wrap content. Okay, so this is the UI part that we have discussed. And try to resolve all the things that is available in practical 7. Okay, mostly I have covered all the part of UI. Okay, we are going to see the next part. Okay, and that is the regarding the main activity.kt file, that is the actual code to connect the data with the UI. Okay, so we have created UI with the recycler view. Now next part, that we need to store data, okay, in one array, and from array to the adapter, and adapter to the recycler view. Okay, so let us understand. So first of all, you have to create one class file, that is the person adapter. By right click on the package, you can see one class option, and you can create person adapter class. Here I have to give some parameter, here private val, and here you have to write down the context with the context variable. Okay, so here context class is very useful, but here I have used main activity instead of context, because we are going to use some function of main activity later. So at that time we need the context object as a main activity object. So this is the first thing. Now second thing, second variable, that is the array. Okay, but that array should be the person class. So we need to create one more class. So right click on the package, new Kotlin class, and create one more class, person class. So you can see now here I have created one person class. So you can see here, this is the person class, and in person class you can see some attributes like ID, name, email ID, phone number, address, latitude, longitude. So ID and all these things like name, email ID, phone number, address, that is the string. Latitude and longitude, the data type is the double. And here you can see the serializable class I have used for the parent, as a parent. Now here you can see in person adapter I have used array with the array list of person class. Okay, so that is ultimately the array list of person class, and that's storing all the objects, okay, of person class. So array I have created here, and you can see array list, and inside array list generic class we are going to use, that is our person class. Okay, so you can see I have created one person class and I have used in array list. Now I am inheriting RecyclerView dot view holder, okay, here for creating person adapter. This is very useful, okay, whenever you are going to create RecyclerView adapter. So person adapter is the RecyclerView adapter. Okay, this is a very important part. Please focus here. Adapter is very useful. Without adapter, RecyclerView you can't create. You can see here RecyclerView.adapter. Inside RecyclerView.adapter we need view holder. Okay, view holder we need to create inside person adapter. That is the inner class. So I'm going to create one inner class. Here you can see this is the inner class. Okay, inner class person view holder, and one argument you can see here, binding view. Okay, and that is inherited from RecyclerView.viewHolder. Please don't confuse from these. Okay, write down as it is what I am writing here. Okay, person adapter has person view holder, then we need to write down like this, person adapter dot person view holder. Inside the bracket, okay, no need to write down anything, just blank bracket. And I have resolved this error. You can see one error was there, and I have resolved that error. And by creating three functions, okay, on create view holder, get item count, and on bind view holder. Just remove to do line, okay, and after removing to do line, we are going to add some code here, okay. Focus on the code. First, on create view holder, we are going to write down here, okay. So on create view holder is the first part, okay, and second part is the on bind view holder. In first part, we need to create view holder object. So what is the view holder? Our person view holder class we have to use that class to inflate XML file person item view. Already we have created. Okay, so we need to write down this code. First of all, layout inflator we have to fetch from the context. Then we have to inflate, okay, that XML file, and you need to create person view holder class with binding view. Okay, then after we are going to add the code in get item count and on bind view holder. So first of all, get item count. Okay, so that is the list of you can say the array, or you can say the count of elements in array. Okay, so just we need to return array dot size. Okay, so I'm going to first write down the get item count, that is the return array dot size. Okay, and then in on bind view holder, I have one code available. I am just writing that code here. You can see. Now with holder, with array position, okay, whatever phone number, name, email address I have available, just I am using that, okay, from the person item view .xml file and giving the data. Okay, so holder, array position, and then phone number, whatever I am getting, okay, at that position in array, just I am reflecting to the XML file, okay, by using the find view by ID. Okay, so phone number, name, email ID, and address, all these things I am adding. Okay, now you can see one error is there regarding context.delete person. I am going to resolve this later. Now focus on the data. Okay, that latitude longitude is not there. I am removing that part. Okay, latitude longitude. Okay, but what I need the data. Without data, it is not possible. Okay, I have not added latitude longitude here in this person adapter. I will also remove from the person class also. Okay, but now just focus here. This is the code that we need to write in adapter class. Now, what is the next part? We need to create adapter. We need to fetch recycler view. We need to connect both these things. Okay, and that is that you have to write down in main activity file. Okay, so here this is the main activity.kt file. Okay, and in here you have to write down the code specifically regarding the array list. Here you can see the person list is there. Okay, second, we are going to also create person adapter object here. Okay, you can see here let init where person recycler adapter object I have created. Then third, we need to write down about the recycler view. So first of all, we need to fetch the recycler view. Okay, and then we need to add the adapter by creating the object. This is the let init where object. So first of all, we need to initialize this object, okay, by using the class person adapter. So you have to create object by using the class adapter. Okay, so write down person recycler adapter. Okay, and is equal to person adapter you have to write down. Okay, or you can write down about the recycler view also. So I'm first writing down recycler view is equal to find view by ID, give here the class name recycler view, and inside the bracket you have to write down r.id.recyclerView1 that I have given. Now you can create the adapter. Okay, recyclerView.adapter. So we have not initialized. I will initialize. okay, before this line. So I'm going to write down here person recycler adapter is equal to person adapter. In bracket, you have to write down this, comma, person list. So here, person list, you can't change. Okay, so I have already initialized, just we are going to change the value. Okay, so this is the RecyclerView adapter, and we have connected all these things, okay, with the data source, UI, and adapter part. Okay, so 3 things we have connected. Now, what we need? We need the network. We need to connect network database. Whatever data is there, we need to connect it. Okay, so for network database, we need to create one function. So I have created one function, network DB. Okay, so when this function should be called, okay, that we are going to discuss. So till now, we have discussed regarding the network database. Now, let us discuss when this function should be called. So floating action button is necessary. Okay, so for floating action button here I'm adding. Okay, and here on click listener part I'm calling this network database function. So network DB function I'm calling here. Okay, but for connecting to the network DB, what we need? We need coroutine scope. So what is this coroutine scope? Understand carefully. Coroutine scope is one type of the mechanism in Kotlin to connect the network in thread, in separate process. Okay, there are different types of coroutine scope is available. You can create IO type of coroutine scope. You can create main type of coroutine scope. Okay, so for that you have to write down the code like coroutine. Okay, and in bracket dispatcher.io .launch, in bracket you have to write down the code. So after writing down the code, okay, you need the HTTP request class, and inside HTTP request class you have to write down the code specifically regarding how to connect. Okay, so class HTTP request you have to create first. Okay, inside this you can see the code. This code is already available. Okay, this code you can see in our website. Okay, and here you can see token and everything. Okay, so we have to write down code inside the coroutine scope, how to connect with the HTTP URL. Okay, and you can see here VAL data is equal to HTTP request. So we can call this by using the try and catch method. So I'm replacing this with try and catch method. If we are getting any error in internet, we can solve this. Okay, same thing. Whenever we are getting the data from make service call function, okay, so at that time we need to retrieve the data, and then we need to process the data. Okay, so I am creating one function get person detail from JSON. You can see here this function that I have created in and called in run on UI thread. This is very important. Okay, without run on UI thread you can't call this function, because this function is running on UI. Okay, you can see now code of person detail from JSON. So whatever data we are getting in JSON format, we need to parse this data. You can see this is the code to parse the data. So I have array of JSON array we need to parse. Okay, and just I am commenting this one code. Okay, because this code is will be I will explain later. Okay, but here to parse the JSON, okay, we need to first create one constructor in person class. So I'm going to the person class, and in person class I'm writing, okay, about the format of JSON. Okay, so you can see the format of JSON here first. Okay, then I will explain that how it is converted. Okay, and store into the attribute of the class. Okay, you can see here all the attributes of class person, ID, name, email ID, phone number, address. I have removed latitude and longitude. Now, in constructor method, we are going to write down the code such that it will parse this JSON data. Okay, in JSON data, you can see ID, email, phone, profile, name, address, location, late, launch. Okay. Now we are going to parse this. You can see downside also one more format is available. Okay, so both format has some different things. Okay, so don't confuse with the parsing part. Okay, in exam it may ask in different way. Okay, this is the concept that you have to understand. If you have any JSON format, you can parse accordingly. If square bracket is there, then it is JSON array. If curly bracket is there, then it is called as JSON object. Okay. If it is in double quotation, then it is string. If it is only number, then it is integer. Now you can see here constructor is available. Okay. All the data you can see here. Okay. This is the first thing. Second thing, we are adding parameter. Okay. Here in JSON object class type. Okay. Now you can see here, I am fetching the data by using the key. Okay, so there are two things available, key and value. By using the key, you can fetch data from JSON object. You can see here, JSON object.getString. In bracket, I have given the key, ID, email, okay, as well as other things also there. But you can see here name. Name is single, above. In second part, you can see name with two different things like first and last. So that second name is the JSON object. Okay. And first name, that is the only simple key and value. Okay. That is the part of JSON object. Okay. That is not its own JSON object. Okay. So I'm removing that, the secondary part. We are just focusing on the first part. Okay. We are just resolving this thing. And you can see this is the simple thing. Okay. Just I will give name and it will just give me the string. Okay. That is the key and value I'm getting. Now, again, go to the main part of the main activity.kt file. Now, after completion of, okay, yes, toString method I have forgotten. Okay. So by using this method, you can print out whatever data you are fetching from the internet. Okay, so you can see here, this is the toString method. Now, after completion of the person class, you can see our code. We have completed all the code. We have fetched the data. We have parsed the data. Okay, we have converted into person class object. We have stored in person list.add person. Then we have notify the adapter. We have changed something. Okay. So after notify to the adapter, it will update in UI. Okay. If we are getting any error, okay, it will print in logcat file. We have completed here. Okay. Now one more thing we need to add for permission. You need to add uses permission of internet in manifest file. So open manifest file and add this permission. Okay. This is very necessary. Without this, it will not connect to internet. Okay. So we have completed here. Okay, the UI part, adapter part. Okay, now we need to focus other part, and that is very important, and that is the SQLite database. I have created one DB folder. Okay, and inside DB folder, I have created one database helper class. Okay, so that is the database helper class, and inside this database helper class, I will add some variable. Okay, like context variable. Okay, with the context class. This is very useful. Okay. Then after you can see other the parent class also I will add. Okay, database name and all these things. So just a minute. You can see SQLite helper. Okay, SQLite open helper. You can see here, and here context name. Okay, so context I have added. Now for name purpose, we need one more thing like companion object. Now let us understand what is the companion object. So in Kotlin, in Java, you can call as the static, but in Kotlin, companion object. Both are same. Okay, what is the use of static? For static, we are adding all the data, okay, in memory. Without creating any object, we can access the data. Okay, SQLite Open Helper, okay, need second thing, that is the database name. So I am adding here database name, a variable. Also DB version I am adding. Okay, so database name is equal to %db and DB version here I am adding 1.0. Now these two variable we are going to use to give for SQLite Open Helper object. So here I am giving the value, and second value I am giving the database underscore name. Okay, that is the name of the database, that is the string. Okay, that is the database name, %db. Now third is the factory, cursor factory, and that is the by default null we are giving here, and db version we can give. Okay, already we have initialized in companion object. One error is there, let us resolve this error. Okay, so class database helper error, first I'm going to resolve that. Okay, so here we need to implement some members. Okay, so here you can see on create and on upgrade method we need to create. Now we can see here SQLite Open Helper, I think DB version is equal to 1.0 is creating problem. So we need to change DB version is equal to 1. I think it is the database error, data type error. Yes, now it is resolved. Now you can see here to do the line we need to remove. Okay, so I have removed both the lines. Now first of all we need to focus on create. On create means you have to create database by using the table schema. For table schema what we need? Okay, we need the create table, the query. Okay, for create table query I am going to create another class. Okay, so here I am creating one more class, person db table, and inside db folder you have to create it. Okay, person db table I have created here, and inside this I am copy paste the schema that I have created. Just a minute. In companion objects, this see everyone, companion object is very useful. Without creating object directly you can access the data. So you can see here. Okay, so by using the class name you can create. Okay, this is all the data, you can use this. Also you can see all the column name and the create table schema. Okay, like you can see here create table, primary key, and data type of the column, text. Okay, I have used here. So I hope all of you are aware about the schema query. Okay, SQL query. So what I need here, I need to execute that SQL query. Okay, so here I am going to write about how to execute SQL query. Okay, specifically to create a table in database. Okay, so you can see here this is the db.execSQL, and we have create table schema available. Error is regarding I think null pointer exception, I think. So we need to check whether it is null or not. Okay, you can see here. Okay, so first of all you have to execute the create table query. Okay, that will create the database if it is not available. If database is available, then it will not create table again. So don't confuse like this, every time it will create the table. No, it will not create table every time. If already created, then it will not create again. In on upgrade method, okay, what we are going to do, we are going to drop the table and again create it. If we are going to change the version of the DB, okay, from 1 to 2, then what we need to do, we need to drop the table and again we need to create it with latest schema. We are assuming here we are changing the schema of the table. That's why we need to drop it and again we need to create it. Okay, this is only for demo. For real-time purpose, it will not be useful because of the data. Okay, first of all, we need to back up the data and then we need to create it. Okay, so I am also creating some functions that is useful for insert query, select query, update query, delete query. We are going to see all these queries here. Okay, so you can see here I have used all the columns here. Okay, and all the data, whatever we have from object to the content value object, we need to store. Okay, so that is the formatting we need, okay, to store inside the database. Okay, so column ID, you can see that is the double string, double quotation, that is the string, and that is the ID, and that we are giving there. Okay, so we are ultimately giving the string, and whatever data inside the person ID, okay, and name, email ID, phone number, address, we are storing it, and we are returning that value. Okay, and we will use that thing. Now you can see here get person. Okay, if we have cursor available in database, then we can fetch the data by using this thing. Okay, you can see here get column index or throw. Whatever index of that column is there, we are going to fetch it and give to the cursor, and it will fetch the data and it will give to the person object like ID, name, email ID, address, phone number. Okay, then after get person, okay, we have to fetch the person from the ID. Okay, then we can write down this query. Okay, so here you can see db.query. By using the ID, we can fetch it. Okay, so first of all, you have to give the table name in db.query method. You have to give the data, which data you need here. Okay, so column ID, person name, person email ID, phone number, and address. Okay, then we are comparing here column ID with the input ID. So whatever input ID we have, just we have to give. Group ID, having, order by, limit also you can give here. Okay, then we need to move cursor to the first. Then we need to check whether count is equal to 0. Yes, then return null. If it is cursor available, then get person and return the person. Okay, by closing the cursor. Okay, now one more thing is there, all persons. Okay, you can list out all the persons available in the table by using this select query. Okay, so we have two methods available. db.query method is also available. We have second method, directly row query we can fire. Okay, like this, select star from whatever table name is there, order by, whatever you want, you can write down in query, and you can fire this query by using the db.row query. Okay, and same thing like move to first, and you can fetch by using the cursor. You can add the data in person list, and you can close it, and you can return that person list. Okay, so this is for all person list. Now let us focus on other part also. Okay, and remember this is the get method. Okay, you can see here again person count with get method. Okay, so person count is only for finding the person count in table. That is the total number of persons available in table. Just cursor.count will give you the count and return that count. Okay, this is the code. Directly you can execute by using the row query. Okay, so these are the attributes. You can say all persons. You can just get, okay, you can't set because this is just the procedure. Okay, one more thing is there, update person. Just you have to give the person object and it will update inside the table by using the person ID. Here you can see get value we have used. So whatever get value, okay, returning, it is necessary to update the table. Okay, so column ID we are comparing here. Okay, and whatever data we are getting, it will return it. Okay, so here row ID we are getting. Now delete person. Okay, so here you can see person we are giving, and we are also giving the data to the delete method of database, and then after we need to close it. It will delete the data in database. Okay, now last part, that is the insert person. So insert person, okay, we need to find out the writable database, that db.insert, table name, null, and whatever get values method we have discussed, we have to give here, and it will insert the data, and it will give you the ID, and it will return the ID of new inserted row. Okay, so these are the main important part. Okay, and get value is mostly useful for insert and update, you can see. Okay, so any query if you have, okay, you can check PowerPoint slide, it is also available. Now let us understand in main activity. In main activity, I'm going to create one let init where variable of database. So where db colon database helper, that we have created database helper, our own class. Okay, just we need to create one variable, and we need to initialize in onCreate method. Okay, so inside onCreate method, we need to write down db is equal to database helper. Inside we have to give the context of main activity. Okay, sorry, application context. Okay, this is the important, because whenever you have no main activity available, you can also you can create the database helper object. Okay, this is the main important part. Okay, this is the main important part. Now here I'm creating one more function, that is the get person details from SQLite DB. Okay, so inside this function we need to write down how we can fetch from SQLite database. So, and we can add in our person list array. So person list array, we need to first clear it, notify in adapter, and then after we need to add all the data that we are getting from SQLite database, and then notify again to the adapter, and just we need to toast it. Okay, so we can see that whether it is updated or not. Okay, so we have created two different methods, get person details as well as network db. Okay, to find out to fetch the data from different source. One more method that we have faced the problem, okay, in adapter, that is the delete person. Okay, and that method is useful to delete from the database. Okay, so from database we are going to delete it. Okay, so here I am calling it db.delete person, and just give the person from person list. We can fetch the person object by using the position. Okay, and then we have to also inform to the adapter as well. We have to notify adapter. So there are two different way we can notify. Okay, so after deleting the person from database, okay, we need to update UI. Okay, so person list dot remove. So first of all, we need to remove from the actual array. Okay, that is connected with the adapter. So remove at position, whatever position we have. Then person recycler adapter dot notify. We can notify with the two things. We can notify with the range, okay, position, and we have to remove only one element. Okay, and here whatever person has removed, we have to give the detail. Okay, so it will call toString method that we have created. Okay, so person list position we need to write down here. Okay, now you can see I'm going to show you the second method to notify item range remove. You can see here notify item removed also. Okay, with only one parameter. Okay, position, but next is the one it is not needed for, right? Okay, now anything from your side, okay, then you can see my slide that is available. I have resolved this delete person error that we have faced at the initial time. Okay, so this is the comments that we have added at the initially. Okay, so whenever you are getting the JSON data, we need to add in our database also. Okay, so here this is that code to add data in database. Okay, so database, you can see here, first of all I have checked ID whether it is available. If it is available, then update the person. If it is not available, then insert the person in database. Okay, if you are getting any error, okay, print it in logcat file. Okay, so just I have written in try catch. Okay, so this is the important part, and here you can see request URL and token. It is already available in our practical 7. Here you can see that I think it is not working, whatever I have used here. This is dummy data, but actual thing you can see in the steps in practical 7 website. Okay, so I have lots of things I have created. Get person details from JSON also I have created. Okay, I have created network DB also. Okay, we have fetched the data from network DB and we have updated, okay, it in SQLite database. So we have completed this. Okay, so now focus on the option menu, okay, that is available on the toolbar. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do, we need to override one method regarding on create option menu. Okay, here we need to write down regarding the inflate menu, but for inflate menu we need menu. Okay, for menu purpose you have to right click on res folder, new, you can create one directory with small letter menu, MENU. Okay, it will create one folder in res folder. Okay, after creating one menu folder, you have to right click on menu folder again, create one new menu, okay, with main underscore menu name. Now you have one XML file of main underscore menu. Okay, and here you have to write down about the whatever menu you have to create. Okay, so inside this menu tag you have to create item tag. So here I am creating two menus, one from fetching from the SQLite database, and second we need to fetch from the network database. So we need two different menu here. Okay, so first menu is regarding SQLite database. Okay, so here ID, icon, the show as action, and the title. These three things we need to add. So here I am adding the icon. You can see here dataset icon I have added already. Okay, baseline underscore dataset. So just I will use, or you can use other things also. Okay, so there is the second the attribute of item. Okay, then title. In title you have to use, okay, SQLite DB. Okay, and then in after title show is action, we can use the attribute, I think show is action, or if room is available then it will show as action. If room is available then it will display the icon. Okay, otherwise it will not display icon. Okay, this is for that. Now second is the second network database. So I'm changing the ID and the title and also icon. Okay, so here I'm just changing ID, title, and icon. Icon you can see here sync. So I'm using sync, and SQLite you can replace with the network. Okay, and you can create two menu. This is the two menu you can create it. Okay, now how you can use this menu? Okay, with text and if room, both the action you can use here by using the vertical line. Now how you can create whenever you are selecting this menu option. Okay, now let us focus on main active.kt file. Okay, so here first of all I am going to inflate. Okay, by using the inflator we can inflate menu. Okay, menu inflator we have available. By using the inflator inflate, we can use here menu resource ID. So that is the r dot menu dot main underscore menu. Okay, so r dot menu dot main underscore menu we can write down, and then after we need to give the menu object that is available in this function on create option menu. Okay, menu dot main underscore menu. Okay, so this is the inflator, and if we have inflated, okay, and we have one error, so return true. We can just return true, then we can say that we have created and there is no error available. Now one more method we need to write down here, on option selected. So you can see here this is the thing, and just cut this line, return super dot on option item selected. It will be useful whenever there is no item selected. So here I am using when, return when. Here I am giving item we need to give item.item ID actually, because item ID we have added, okay, like SQLite database as well as network database, both are different. So that's why I have to add here r.id.SQLite, whatever ID I have added in item, we have to add here also. Okay. So this is the first thing. Second thing, r.id.network database. Okay. And here we need to return one value. Okay. So first of all, I will call one function, okay, from SQLite database, get person details from SQLite DB and return true. Okay. And second one, that is the get person details from JSON and return true. Okay. And else, that whatever you have copied, we have to add, okay, in else part. Okay, so in else you can add. Okay, so this is the two things we have add. Now true. Now last one is the else part, okay, that we have copied. So we have completed here all this thing. Thank you all of you. We have completed practical 7.